and they bring you in just so you take it as soon as possible. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back at the Charles Morkel Stadium. We have Hilderberg against Brackenfell. Apologies for that, but we are back underway, and it's a scrum down. And it's Jafta to feed the scrum. Good steady scrum there. And it's a good push from Helderberg. And Mr. Bitsy says, we will have a restart. And he's just talking to the players saying, listen, gents, we need to get this bind right. We need to get the pushing right. Brackenfell's going to look to swing it wide here. And it's Jafta to feed the scrum. Solid scrum from Jafta. Gets it out wide to center. Out the back door to the fullback. It looks like he's breaking through. He's Verveers. And just unfortunately off the toe end of the boot from Van Ster. And it looks like there's an option here for Hilderberg. Yeah, it will be a line-out to Hilderberg. But great play from the back line. Jafta and Janssen van Rensburg shifting the ball to the back line. And it was just unfortunate there from Van Ster. Hilderberg with the line out. They formed them all now. And it's Fortuin gets it out to Hockey Karstens, who clears. And Van Ster gets it and he swings it out to Smit. Smit with a beautiful long pass out to the left wing. Verveers stepping. And he's well brought to ground from Hilderberg. And Hilderberg have won the ball exceptionally. Great turnover from Hilderberg. And you just see the man so strong over the ball. And there was only one guy who's going to come up with that ball, and that was the forward from Hilderberg. And Captain Karstens clearing into touch, setting up the maul as they want to get the first 5-pointer on the board. It's been a very fascinating first few minutes of this clash between Hilderberg and Brackenfell. And as I say that, Furry with the feet to the line, just a bit skew, and Gallus is with the ball. Busting two. Very strong on his feet is a Gallus. And they swing it wide to Brackenfell. And it's Van Ster with the wheels. And a great tackle from Maria. And they have turned the ball over exceptionally at Hilderberg. And it's Karstens sending it out. Looks like his left wing, Davids. And it's Karstens who will play scrum off here. Gets it out the back to Julius, who's got a very good cross kick on. And almost. Great vision. Just unfortunately couldn't gather it. Could Daniels. But great vision from the fullback. And as we see now, just unfortunate error there. And it'll be a line out to Brackenfell. And we have Van Blerk ready to throw into the line out. Good contest, but Hilderberg have stolen it. And they are running through, and he's broken the first tackle. And they swing it wide. And just unfortunate forward from, it looks like Brendan Fenter. Unfortunate. Good play from Hilderberg, trying to play that short ball from Maria, and just unfortunately marginally forward was the pass. And a scrum down now for Brackenfell. Brackenfell will need to get this ball out. They have the talisman Agallis, who's been running the ship from this point on. And it's Jafta to feed the scrum. Steady platform to work from. And Brackenfall messy, but they've got it. And Jafta gives it out to the forwards. Pick and go here. And there's a turnover. And it's Fortain swinging it out to Carstens, giving it out to Maria. Outside to Julius, who's got wheels to burn on the outside. But a great covering tackle from Brackenfell. And it's a great move from Hilderberg. An excellent cover defense from Brackenfell. The speedster was looking to go in for all money, but great covering defense from the Brackenfell. Looks like the fullback in Smith. Cross covering there. It's a lineout to Brackenfell. And they set up with one of their strong forwards, and he busting one tackle is Brackenfell. Good clean. And Jafta will box kick it. And he will clear for touch. Unfortunately, just the wind at Strand. We know the venue, it's very windy here, but the ball is out of the park and they can reset here. And as we see, Fourie will feed the line out. And it's unfortunately gone a bit wayward there. Mr. Bitty says tackle release. And it's out to one of the bigger forwards again. And they're gaining over the advantage line or Brackenfell. And Mr. Bitty says that there's an advantage to be played. Agallis taking the ball to the line. Big hit from Brendan Fenter. Brackenfell still with the advantage here. Backwards, says the referee. And Brackenfell still with advantage. And it's out to Jafta. Swings it out wide to his backline. And Mr. Bitty says, no advantage, we're coming back for the penalty for side entry. And Agallis will want to clear this ball into touch. It's in fact Jafta who is doing the banana kick, and it's worked to some effect. And as you see, Hilderberg's bomb squad is coming onto the field, making a few substitutions. Here's Hilderberg. And they're just waiting for the line out here. And it will be Brackenfall to feed here. Van Blerk, it looks like an 8-man line out, all man in. And it's Van Blerk who feeds it, overthrow. And it's picked up by Hilderberg over the advantage line. Now, looks like the replacement scrum off, getting the ball out wide. And it is the scrum off indeed. And it's out wide, yeah.
Use it!
Hilderberg with strong carries up the midfield. And it's a great pass out to the left wing. Is Davids. Good stepping, good feet, quick and agile is the young man. Good counter-ruck from Brackenfell. And they've stolen the ball. And it's Rodney who's picked it up. And there's a penalty advantage, says Mr. Bitsy. Brackenfell on the attack, they have an advantage. And it's Jafta digging the ball out there. A great miss pass to Rodney. He's got Funstad on the outside. Funstad is still inside. Great feet from the right winger. Jafta out the back to his number tight head, Krill. Jafta again, back to Van Rensburg. Out the back to Agalas. Good pass from the wing, and he's got also, and the left wing there's got pace to burn as well. Good cover defense from Helderberg. And it's the right wing playing scrum off there, getting the forwards on the advantage line here. Called off it is Helderberg, and it's slow ball for Jafta. He's playing 10, first receiver there. Busting through is Brackenfell. He's still going. Is the man. What a run. Jafta's looking for the ball, and it's exceptionally won by Helderberg. Over the ball is Helderberg. Just brilliant work at the breakdown is Helderberg. And it's an intriguing game this far. 23 minutes in. It's going coast to coast from both sides. And as we see, Helderberg with the line out. Looks like McQueen Jafta, who will feed the line out for Helderberg. Unfortunately, overthrow to Rodney. Back to Jafta. Unfortunately, just an unforced error from Muabi, as he was just trying to catch it from the pass from Rodney. An unfortunate error from Brackenfell, and we'll have another scrum down for Helderberg, and it's been an absolute thriller these 25 minutes, coast to coast, both sides, running the ball, playing very exciting rugby is the two clubs. And it's Hilderberg seems like it to feed the scrum. And he's put the ball in, and it's a powerful scrum from Helderberg. And they've won the penalty advantage. And it's Hilderberg out the back to his centre partner. And getting over the advantage line. They have an advantage here. And they're swinging it wide here is Helderberg. Great pass from Brendan Venter. And it's the replacement scrum off again, getting his forwards wide. And that time it looks like it was Boerter strong into contact. Replacement scrum off back. Looks like great stepping. What an offload out the back door from Helderberg. They're getting the continuity here as Helderberg. Well done from Helderberg to keep that ball in hand, and it's out to the backside, back line. And it's the centre again, very powerful in his running is the centre. And the press will come off back on. And what good line from, looks like the prop there. Looks like Bongi Kalawi. And Flaaf gives a cross kick, space is on. And well marked by Janu Verveers. There was two men on the overlap for the cross kick, and he did exceptionally well to cover the ground and call the mark. Did Verveers. Verveers will tap and kick it out. And as we see, Helderberg now with the line out between the 10 and the 22 meter. And it looks like Jafta again. And he throws a line out. And they've won it this time as Helderberg. Out the back door. Another switch play. Great stepping from the back line there. Great. Well done from Peter Kent. Getting advantage line is Peter Kent. And Helderberg on the front foot here in the 22. They need to make it count here. Inside ball to the number 20 looks like. out the back again. And
Sorry, manne.
there is a big injury in the midfield. Well done
Sorry, manne.
from Unforced to stop the game, knowing that it was right in the playing area. And great officiating work by Unforced. Experienced is the referee. And just a timeout here for the game, as we hope that the player looks like Rodney is not too badly injured and that he'll be okay. But ladies and gentlemen, it has been fascinating. Sorry about the inconvenience earlier, but luckily we are underway, and it's been a very entertaining 28 minutes of this game. And as we have a bit of a break here, we have a scrum to Helderberg. And this is brought to you by Global Sports Network, and their sponsors are CIT Consulting, G Sportswear, and Sim Control. And we have the sponsors of Hilderberg Rugby Club, is Saggystone, Buco, Devil's Peak, Roller, Prominent Paints, Vintuk, and Stale Panel Beaters. And we thank them for their contribution. And thank you if you've joined in a Global Schools Network that are doing such good work, reaching people across the globe, and just getting more and more viewers in. So very well done to Global Schools Network. They've done exceptional work. And we are back underway, gents, ladies and gentlemen. And it's a scrum to Hilderberg. And it's a skew feed from Hilderberg. Unforced error. 5 meters from the line. You expect that to be fed in straight. And it's another unfortunate error from Hilderberg. Good clearance from Jafta. He will get about 25 meters from that kick. And because it was a short time, it will still be Hilderberg's line out. And it looks like Jafta again to throw in to the line out. Better line out, good jump. Replacement scrum off is on. Sends it out wide to Kalawi. Looks like it. The front rower. Back out from. Looks like Khilumia again. Inside ball to Brendan Fenter. Very strong runner, and he's still on his feet. Is Brendan Fenter getting them over the advantage line? Swing it out wide is Hilderberg. And there on the front foot is Hilderberg. Called off it is Brackenfell. Inside ball, great inside ball from Hilderberg. Slow ball for Khilumia, but he's got it out wide. Great stepping from the fly off from Hilderberg. He's called off it. Is the Brackenfall player. Out the back door from Hilderberg. Looks like Buerta again. And it's a penalty to Brackenfall for holding on. Exceptional work at the breakdown from Brackenfall. Just as Hilderberg were on the attack, some great defense from Brackenfall, and they've turned the ball over in their own 22. And Jafta with a exceptional clearance, about 50 meters. Just exceptional from the young scrum off. It'll be a line out to Brackenfall. They will look to counter attack here, and Hilderberg will want to defend.
Okay, let's go.
Very strong.
Hou die 10. Rooi skrampet, geef my 3 terug asseblief. Dankie.
And it's Van Blerk again. Looking to throw, this time successful.
Number 5, leaving
And
the
then just
line out before the
unfortunately,
ball is thrown.
too many receivers did Brackenfell.
Die lyn staan voor hy die bal gegooi
Just
is.
too many receivers at the line out. And it's given possession away back to Hilderberg. And they'll tap and go. Big, strong run. Looks like the flanker. They get it out to the fly off again, and he's brought to ground.
Use it!
And it's a scrum off again to his back or forwards.
Okay, jy's af.
And he's called off it is Brendan Fenter with the ball now. Great offload.
Backwards.
Bounce pass, but it's fine. It works in the hands of Helderberg here.
Use it. Hou.
To Hilderberg out again. To looks like the flanker, Botha. Balls are fumble, but it's fine. Flav kicks it over. Jafta, beautiful work there, and Jafta's got pace. Great pass from Jafta to find Faviers. Faviers is on the outside, and he's broken in. Feel this, Faviers. Great run and great defense from Brackenfell. Pops it up, and it's the first try of the game for Brackenfell. And it's scored by Nikundal. Great play from Jafta, and it all started from Jafta, who broke the line and gave an absolute peach of a ball. And as we see on the replay, Faviers, just out and out gas. Great step inside from Faviers. And the offload to Nikundal. And there was no one was going to get to him. Great score from Brackenfell. And as we see Bronston Agallis to convert the try. And Bronston Agallis has nailed the conversion, and that would lead 7-0 for Brackenfell. And as we see here, Faviers again, just out and out speed.
7 minutes.
Great step inside.
Okay, I'll go for my fast.
And the offload to Nikundal was just superb from Brackenfell. And as we just see here, there's a bit of a delay here. Looks like the lock from Brackenfell, Milford is just getting some tension to that right knee.
5 minutes.
And referee Heinrich Butzi says, we're going to play on. And it's number Hilderberg gets us underway again. And it's unfortunately a knock-on from Brackenfell from the restart. That's exactly what they didn't want. After just getting points, now they're conceding. And it will be a scrum down to Hilderberg. A great attacking position for Hilderberg. And that's exactly what Hilderberg wanted. To have a scrum down on the 22 when they can use both sides to attack from. Is Hilderberg, but it looks like they're going to go to the left-hand side. And it looks like Hilderberg to feed the scrum. Steady scrum from both sides, yeah. And Heinrich Butzi says, no, we're going to have to reset the scrum. It's not up to standard, gents. And as we wait for the scrum to reset, we can see Hilderberg proudly sponsored, and this is brought to you by GSN, and their sponsors are Saki Stone, Buco, Devil's Peak, Roller, Prominent Paints, Vintuk, and Stale Panel Beaters. Amazing work and sponsor, and we thank you guys so very much. Back to the action, and it's Hilderberg feed the scrum, but it's early shove from Brackenfell. Hilderberg looking to take it quickly, out the back, to the back line, to the center, replacement center. And looks like Hilderberg again out the back to his big Van Zaten. Big strong boy is Van Zaten. Out to another big boy in a Dorfling. And it's a good defense from Brackenfell. Good defense there. Out the back from Helderberg, and they're looking to break the line. Is the fullback. Good defense from Brackenfell. Brendan Fenter, good pickup. And just unfortunately, a bounce pass into touch. And that was a great defensive set from Brackenfell. They're absorbing all the pressure in this first half. And as we see, GSM sponsors G Sportswear, Sim Control and ID Consulting. We're thankful for their support of GSN. And GSN just doing such great work, spreading the streaming all over, and just getting so many millions involved, which is a great work from GSN Network. We see Van Blerk again. Good maul formed by Brackenfell. And it's a promising maul here from Brackenfell. And it's broken away now. And beautiful work from Hilderberg. And they've turned the ball over again. Great work at the breakdown. As we see Van Blerk going off the maul. And he broke off the maul. And great work from Hilderberg, turning the ball over. And as we see Hilderberg in possession once again. They will need to capitalize. They've had a lot of 22 entries. They will need to capitalize here. Good shift drive from Hilderberg. Maul is rolling. Advantage says Mr. Bitty, side in for collapse. And it's to the big boys again. Good strong run. And no advantage says Mr. Bitty. And it's a penalty to Hilderberg for collapse. And Hilderberg look like they're going to go to touch again. Yes, they are. And they will want to score points before the half time. And it's 1 minute to half time. 5 minutes, beg your pardon. Oh yeah, it is 1 minute to half time, ladies and gents. Good maul from Hilderberg. They were on to score here before half time. And another advantage for collapse. Another advantage. Hilderberg on the attack now. And it's a try! Hilderberg's first try of the game. And it's a well-worked try in the end from Hilderberg. Very, very strong forwards. Rolling forward in the maul. And advantage after advantage. The damn maul had to break. And as we see there again, another advantage for Hilderberg. And a great try by the Hilderberg player. We think it's Mr. Pick or it's Furry. And replacement Flaff has kicked it just a bit wide. And as we see again on the replay, advantage for collapse.
1 minute.
Yeah. And it's Llewellyn Pick who indeed scored that try. And great play in the end from Hilderberg. And Brackenfell slow to the halfway line. And it's 7 points to 5. Brackenfell lead for this half time. Jafta to get us underway again. Good kickoff, high hanging kick.
No touch.
And it's play on, says the referee, and it's Brackenfell with advantage to the number 7 in Mwabi. Takes it up, but it's been met in defence
Seatbelt, number 7.
from Pick. But it's a penalty to Brackenfell for high tackle.
Is finale, is op, ja, gaan. Ja,
And
uit
it's,
de kop, als je uitkomt, kan ons afgaan.
Buerta, unfortunately, there just slipping up a bit high as he went into contact to make the tackle. And it's a good kick from
Mannes, last
Jafta.
play, nee?
And they're about
Last play.
8 meters out. Good attacking set piece
Roy, is jullie merk?
for Brackenfell.
Blauw nummers.
And it will be good for Brackenfell to score here before half time. And it looks like Van Blerk who will feed the line out. Unfortunately, overthrow here, and it's picked up by Hilderberg, and they have kicked a long kick downfield. Good chasing, and a unbelievable kick. And that brings us to the halftime break. Brackenfell leading 7 points to 5. Don't miss any of the action. We'll be back shortly. I'm here with Morkel. Thoughts on the first half?
Absolutely brilliant. I think these two clubs, after all these years, which are always competitive, both sides, they are one hell of a club. Always nice to play with. Their clubhouse, the camaraderie they have, exactly the same as Helderberg. It's also a town-based club, but this is absolutely brilliant. If you look at this first half and your senior coach cannot see whatever he wants to see in a friendly, then he must be blind. The attacks on both sides, the defense from both sides, I think it's absolutely brilliant, the game so far.
Yeah, I must say it was a very entertaining first half. But what would you like to see more from Hilderberg or from both sides leading into the second half? It was very close, 7-5. Both sides a bit missed opportunities, but good tries in the end. What do you think Helderberg will need to work on just to edge it at the end?
Our strong point so far for the season was our scrums. Unfortunately tonight we're sitting without 3 or 4 of our top props. But that's nothing. I mean, you can't hide about that. You have to have depth. And this is certainly one of our, what makes me glad is that we get the opportunity to get youngsters to play prop tonight to test our depth, because I'm a prop man. I just love it. Games, you win and lose on props. So, yeah, maybe if we get our top players back, but this so far, I'm extremely happy. Really, this is so nice. It's a happy club. It's always friendly. It's nice to play with them.
Yeah,
Gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Bokkie Costens. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
And we are underway at Helderberg Rugby Club. And it's Helderberg kicking off, and it's Brackenfell who have got the ball. They send it out. And a exceptional kick from the fluff, it looks like. No, it's actually the replacement fluff. And it's Brackenfell on the attack here. Beg your pardon, it's Hilderberg with the ball. And it's out the back. Brendan Fenter. Strong carry from Brendan Fenter. Getting over the advantage line is Brendan Fenter. But beautifully won at the breakdown from Mwabe. So strong over that ball. And it's an exceptional penalty won by Brackenfall. Just what the doctor ordered after the halftime chat. And a very good kick from the replacement fly-off. Brackenfall will want to turn pressure into points here in this early part of the second half. And Brackenfall's Brackenfall with the line out, but too many receivers, says Mr. Bitsy, and possession given to Hilderberg. And it's a quick tap from Fontaine, getting out wide to Bokkie Costens. And Fontaine again. And it's looks like Bokkie Costens with a good clearing kick. And they'll just get out of the 22 here. But good position for Brackenfall to attack from. Brackenfall would want to capitalize here, as they are it's a good throw, but unfortunately picked up from Hilderberg. Good carrying run from the lock forward. Mieling. And it's from the scrum off, from Fortuin out wide to his forwards. Fortuin again to Carstens. And it's beautiful hands. And unfortunately, just running out of space. Just running out of space there was Davids. And possession is given back to Brackenfell. Looks like the replacement hooker, Keenan McCarthy, to feed the line out. And just unfortunately, it's been knocked on. Great pressure from Helderberg. And as we see, the Helderberg sponsors, Saggy Stone, Buco, Devil's Peak, Roller, Prominent Paint, Vintuk and Stale Panel Beaters. And we love the work that they do, and it's proudly brought to you by Global Sports Network. And it's a scrum for Tain to feed the scrum. And he feeds it well, and it's a good set. And Mr. Bissy says use it. Out the back, Bocky Carstens, out the back door too. The wing, Davids breaking through. It's a 2-on-1. He gives it to his right winger, and just unfortunately had no time or space to move there. But great counter and great set from Helderberg. The scrum was set well, and it gave the backline time to move the ball well. Just unfortunately, Daniel's just running out of space there. And in the end, it's good defense from Brackenfell. And it's the replacement hooker, McCarthy, to feed again. But Mr. Bitsy says it is not straight. And it will be an option, and Helderberg have taken the scrum. And they will want to convert pressure into points. Will Helderberg. And as we see, Helderberg wanting to scrum well here is Helderberg. And it's a good steady scrum, but it's a penalty to Brackenfall for hinging. And it's against Milan for hinging. And it's the fullback with the left boot who has kicked a very good kick here. And they are on the 10-meter line. Here is Brackenfall. And it's McCarthy, it's Keenan McCarthy to feed. Keenan McCarthy would want to get this one good. And it looks like a 5-man, and might be a knock on, and it's good carry from Brackenfall. Getting over the advantage line is Brackenfall. And it's Jafta who gives it out to the man with the left boot. And it's Daniels again with silky smooth feet. And he's chasing after this one is Daniels. And it's a bit of a fumble from Smith. And they are on the 5-meter, and Brackenfell's done exceptionally well there as Mwabi to get them out of trouble. And Jafta again gives it out to his pack of forwards waiting for the ball, and they're going to clear here. And it's great counter-ruck from Hilderberg. They've given it over. And it looks like it's going to be held up. It looks like it's going to be held up from Hilderberg. And a great play from Hilderberg, great counter-ruck, which gave them the possession. And just unfortunately, Van Tonder just couldn't get the ball down in time. And it's good defense from Brackenfell to hold the ball up. And it's a scrum down for Helderberg. And it's been intriguing second half, first 8.5 so minutes with Fortain again to feed. Fortain feeds a scrum, and it's a pickup. It's a pickup from the boys down. But we'll have to see.
Right. Yeah. No grounding. Held up.
We're just waiting confirmation, and it's no try. It's held up. And Helderberg will have a scrum here to feed, and it will be Fortain again to feed the scrum. And as we see, GSN Global Sports Network, where passion meets purpose. And they're going to have to reset the scrum quickly, will the two sides. Great defensive effort from Brackenfall in these two passages of play to keep them down to just 5 points. Fortain to feed the scrum. And it's Fortain who'll feed. Gets it out wide to Bookie Carstens. Great defensive work from Brackenfell. They've turned it over. And an amazing passage of play from Brackenfell in defense. And it's just simply sensational work from Brackenfell's defenders. Helderberg going at them and unfortunately not getting any reward. But it's a very good kick from the fullback of Brackenfell, getting them to the halfway line from inside their own half. A good attacking platform here for Brackenfell. And it looks like Keenan McCarthy to feed the line out. And it's Michael Visser who's on the park. One of Helderberg's rugby legends is Michael Visser. And no advantage is the referee. Will come back for the knock-on. And as we see, both sides looking to take advantage of this scrum on the halfway line of the two clubs. They would want a steady base here, will Michael Visser and his troops. Michael Visser feeds the ball. Does Michael Visser. Good scrum, good platform for Michael Visser. Gets the ball to Brendan Fenter. Out the back door to Bookie Carstens. Good pass to the fullback. and then gets it out wide to Davids. Davids brought down. Again to Brendan Venter. Good line from Botha. Visser, Michael Visser. Running the show is Michael Visser at scrum off. And there's advantage. Free player for Helderberg. Brendan Venter. Great skip pass to Karoo. Gets it out wide to Fourie. Fourie. 2-on-1. And unfortunately, it's gone backwards. And it will be a 5-meter scrum for Helderberg. Exceptional play. Starting from Michael Visser. Getting the boys on the advantage line. And then Brendan Venter with a very good skip pass on the outside. Getting the backs involved. And in the end, they have got themselves a 5-meter scrum. Have Helderberg. And as we see, Mr. De Jager is coming back onto the field. And as we have a little bit of a break, we see the sponsors of Global Sports Network is ID Consulting, G Sportswear, and Sim Control. And we thank them for all their support for the year. A bit of a break now as we see Loubser coming onto the field, looks like it. And we have a bit of an injury in the back play, Brackenfell. And we have Michael Visser who will feed the ball. And there's a bit of replacements coming on. Looks like Loubser will come on at the loose head for Creel. And Cooper De Jager is also on the park. In fact, I think it is Ronan McCarthy who has taken off the field. But Michael Visser to feed. And again, another reset says the referee not happy with the standard of the scrum. So, gents, we're going to reset. This is what he says.
As julle vir my kans gee om te praat, sê julle my hoor. Julle tyd praat nie. So gee vir my kans om daai calls te doen, dan gaan julle almal hoor.
Another reset from Hilderberg. Michael Visser again to feed the scrum. It's a powerful scrum. And the penalty goes to Helderberg, and Michael Visser taps and goes. And Michael Visser has scored! An exceptional try by Michael Visser, one of the legends of Helderberg Rugby Club, also known as Fissy. And Michael Visser has got the second try for Helderberg, and they lead 10-7 in this encounter. Michael Visser coming onto the field, making an immediate impact is Michael Visser. And he'll look to convert his own try, will Michael Visser? As we wait for Michael Visser to convert his own try. Michael Visser has converted his own try, and Helderberg lead for the first time in the game, 12 points to 7, with still plenty of time left in this one. And don't go anywhere, folks, it's going to be a cracker.
Okay. Jou loskop net afbly want hy skram op. Maar as reg, ek sal met julle praat. Om vir my op die lyn of agter die lyn neem. As jy reg het, kan ons gaan.
And it's the fullback with the big left boot from Brackenfell gets us underway again. And Luke Karoo, also a very powerful carrier is Karoo. And Michael Visser with a hanging box kick in this Charles Morkel win. And it's been knocked on by Brackenfell, giving them advantage. And it's Bookie Kosten out to Michael Visser. And again, setting the standard is Michael Visser. And the referee will bring us back for a knock-on. Looks like a double knock-on from the two sides. And we just see again Luke Guru coming on and setting the standard. And we see Michael Visser also making such a big impact coming off the bench. All of his experience in rugby 10s as well as playing at the highest level at rugby club and at the rugby 10s, showing all his class here tonight is Michael Visser. And it's another reset of scrums. And Mr. Bitsy says, no, gents, we're going to reset that one again. I'm not happy with the standard. And that's been a brutal part of this game, has the facets of play, scrums and lineouts from both sides. They got some big boys up front, do Helderberg as well as Brackenfell. Some big boys. 16 of them. And as we see there, Michael Visser to feed the scrum here. Use it, says the referee, and it's Bookie Kostens out the back to Davids. And unfortunately just miscues it and it goes wide. And just unfortunately there from Davids. And as we see again, the bomb squad is coming onto the field for the second time in this match. Hilderberg is bringing on all of their replacements again for the last 20 or so minutes of this game. And as we see the rest of the gents coming off the field. And it's been a good shift from the boys from Hilderberg, as well as the shift of the boys from Brackenfell. Brackenfell the line out now. In possession is Brackenfell. And it's a replacement scrum off there. Looks like. And a massive hit there from Hilderberg. And they're on the counter attack now is Hilderberg. They will need to get it out wide here. Michael Visser. Good kick downfield, and it's well taken by Jafta. Jafta just unfortunately overcooks it. But he's been so good for Brackenfell tonight as Jafta. Getting his team on the advantage line and just getting them so close. And everything Brackenfell have done has been a result of his good play. Here's Jafta. And that's a good line out from Jefta. And Hilderberg with the ball. Michael Visser has got slow ball here. And he swings it out wide to his forward. In Dorflang. And it's Visser again. To his big number 8 in Lamprecht. Lamprecht's also just been such a good workhorse for this side. Michael Visser out again. And one-off runners here for Hilderberg. They must be careful not to get isolated. Visser again. Replacement fluff out the back to Guru. Guru with a good pass out wide to Davids. Davids with some pace to burn on the outside. And unfortunately, just not enough space for Davids to do his thing. And it's just unfortunate play there from Hilderberg. They're swinging the ball, moving the ball well. And yeah, it is very good work from Hilderberg. As we see Brackenfell with the throw-in. And it's one back from Hilderberg, but unfortunately they have lost it, and it's Hilderberg's thrown in. They've taken it quickly as Hilderberg. And it's the big number 12 replacement. Massive storming run. Visser again.
Advantage.
Michael Visser again, held up 2 meters from the line.
Advantage.
There's a penalty advantage for Helderberg. And it's a storming run. Looks like the prop forward. And he's over. And great work from Helderberg.
Dis offside. Ja, jy teruggekom ja.
And it looks like the replacement hooker, McQueen Jefter. And as we see on the replay, Michael Visser spotting the overlap on the outside, had an advantage to play, and the big boy in Jefter barreling his way over and getting his team the 5-pointer. And as we see now, Michael Visser to extend the lead for Hilderberg. Michael Visser, and he's absolutely nailed it, has Michael Visser, and he gets the full 7-pointer. On the replay we can just see Michael Visser edging them so close to the try line, and the referee had an advantage out there, and we just see a bulldozing run from Jefter, and he's over for the 5 points. And as we see Brackenfell walking slowly to the halfway line. And it's Brackenfell's fullback with a very good left boot. Gets us underway again. Unfortunately, error from Brackenfell, but they've turned it over now. Helderberg inside ball to Visser, Michael Visser. So hard to stop, but beautiful defense from Brackenfell. And there's an overlap, and it's Jefter, the try scorer. And he unfortunately passes it into the face of his own teammate, and it's a Mwabi. And it's no advantage, says the referee. Will come back for a scrum. And I think it looks like Lamrecht will have a bit of a sideburn to the face tomorrow morning. But he looks to be alright. He's a tough boy, is Lamrecht. And if, for those who are watching, millions around the world, we have Helderberg's sponsors: Saggy Stone, Buco, Devil's Peak Roller, Prominent Paints, Vintuk, and Steel Panel Beaters. We cannot thank you enough for your guys' support for the Helderberg Rugby Club. And we see that scrum is taking place, and we have the sponsors of GSN Global Sports Network is ID Consulting, G Sportswear, and some control. And as we go back to the action, we have the replacement scrum off in Carstens, and another reset. Another reset, says Mr. Bitsy. He said, no, gents, we're going to reset for the second time in the set. And it's been a mouth-watering encounter, ladies and gentlemen. And stay tuned in, because the next 15 minutes or so is going to be just as entertaining as the first 66 minutes. So don't go anywhere. Do not go anywhere. Bring your popcorn, your drinks to the show. This is going to be mouth-watering. And it's another reset. Very good work here from Mr. Bitsy, Anrich Bitsy. just setting the standard in terms of what he wants from the players. He wants safety at all times, does the referee. Just setting his standard, and he's been really good tonight, has Mr. Bitsi. And it's a tap go from Mwabe. Tap and go. And it's looks like a scrum down to Helderberg. He didn't release the ball when he tapped on his foot. So just unfortunately from Brackenfell, just little slight errors that are affecting them. And we have another scrum to Helderberg, and it's Michael Visser again. Good run from Lambrecht. And it's Visser out the back too. Danielson looks like it. Takes contact. Good clean from Kuru. They're going to need for quick ball here. Does Visser. And there's some big defense. Cooper Dioche. A big boy is Cooper Dioche. Making in the hits is Dioche. Michael Visser plays his forwards out wide. Michael Visser again with the ball. And it's some big boys carrying it up in the midfield. Switch play from the flaff. A great pass, but just unfortunately another handling error from Helderberg, and it's giving possession away back to Brackenfell. And it's Andre Kriel with the ball. Big boy is Andre Kriel, giving it out to the flaff with a very big left boot. An exceptional work from Daniels to keep that ball into play. It's Lamrax again who gives it out wide to the replacement centre. Gives it out to Davids. Davids, bit of a goose and a bit of a step there from, and he's brought down is Davids for not releasing the ball. And just it's a penalty to Brackenfall for throwing the ball away. This is what Brackenfall wanted. A penalty with 10 minutes to go. And as we see the bomb squad again coming on with their substitutions is Hilderberg. Brackenfall would want to turn this penalty into a 5 or 7 pointer here with 10 minutes to go. Prizes to be a very entertaining last 10 minutes, gents, so don't go anywhere. And as we see Loepscher with a feed, unfortunately, well stolen by Helderberg. Massive hit in defense from the 8th man there from Brackenfall. Looks like Rodney. And a good clearance from Helderberg. And Jafta again with a speculative chip, but it's well picked up by Fortuin. Opposite scrum off, and he stepping his way through. And it's out the back, and a flaff of Helderberg kicks it very far. Well covered by the fullback. As we see, counter from Helderberg. And there's advantage for Brackenfall. And it's out the back door. And it's well given to the right wing there from Stad. Bigger part, and it's a replacement winger. Brackenfall with good momentum here. Big boys carrying it up in the midfield. And out the back is Brackenfall, and Mwabe got pace to burn. Does Mwabe? And it's a high tackle from Lamprecht. Penalty for
Los dit.
Brackenfell. Advantage.
Los dit, ek het hom 8.
And it's back out to the boys in the back line.
Advantage.
It's again from Brackenfell. Good play, but unfortunately just lost. And referee's gonna say time off here, and he's gonna have a word with Lamprecht.
Alright, kickoff vir hy tackle daar. Alright, en dan verder het ons 3 advantage gehad. Enige penalty in hierdie area is nog kickoff. Kry hom aan as die posisie reg.
And too many penalties from this area. And this one is a penalty for high tackle. And a yellow card.
Penalty. Okay, sorry man, julle het 'n penalty.
And Brackenfall will have 2 options for the penalty, where they can take it.
Scrum in die middel.
And they choose to take it in the midfield for an offside.
Scrum.
And they have called the scrum of Brackenfall. It's been a very intriguing game, has it?
Daar's julle merk.
Between these two teams.
Hou dit reguit.
And another scrum using both of their strengths to
Keep it straight, ek soek 'n hoek.
the best of their ability.
Then I'm happy.
And as we see them stepping down again
Voor
for
die foot.
the scrum.
Soek jou hier. Jy moet hier begin hè. Jy kan nie daar begin nie. Crouch.
And it's Brackenfall to feed the scrum here.
Sit. Happy.
Good set scrum, balls out. And it's a great attack here from Brackenfall. And they're stepping through.
Release.
No hands,
Daylight, no daylight.
says the referee. And it's a bulldozing run again from the forwards of Brackenfall. Using the power that they have up front. Some big boys up front, does Brackenfall. Brackenfall on the attack here. They with Cooper Diocha, such a strong ball carrier is Cooper Diocha.
Advantage.
Getting advantage line, but unfortunately he's knocked it on. And there's cross kick in the own 22. And it's Daniels with a chip. Gather, and he gets it again, does Daniels. Backwards, says the referee. And it's a strong run, and Bronston Agallis again. Who's got it?
Alles uit, alles uit.
Ball is out.
Connectie. Kappie.
And it's
Julle was gewaarsku vir te veel penalties.
Mr.
Geel
Ritchie,
kaart vir daai slap.
who says
Slap down.
no
Dis jou
more.
merk. Okay, speel happy. Happy.
And it's Brackenfall on the attack here
Use.
in the 22. And they spin it out wide. Great defense from Al.
Release. Dis op die speler.
And it's out wide. And it's Bronson Agallis here, who's broken the tackle.
Nou.
And it's another advantage to Brackenfall.
Hy moet wegrol. Dankie.
Brackenfall on the attack now with 2 men down. They would want to capitalize here. It's out wide. And Mwabi just tackled short. Pops it up to his teammate and he's in. Great score from Brackenfall, using the 15-man advantage. And they have scored it eventually. Has Brackenfall. And as we see on the replay, another advantage. And it's out the back door. And another pass. Mwabi got so close to the line. Great pop to the 6th flanker in Gregory Reed, and he's over for Brackenfall's 5-pointer. And as we see the fullback for Brackenfall lining it up, and it's unfortunately he pushed it to the left. But 19-12, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. And as we see again on the replay, out the back door, 2 skip pass. Mwabi got so close, didn't Mwabi? Could have given the offload,
Hy tyd is reg.
but gave it to Gregory Reed, and it doesn't matter, he's over.
3 minute by my. Sorry, 3 minute.
3 minutes left, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere.
3 minutes.
It is an fascinating game.
Bly agter.
Both sides will want to finish well in this last 3 minutes of this game. And as we see, Hilderberg with a restart again into the dark patch of the field. They sprint now out, Jafta again on the ball. What a pass on the outside. He's stepping is the replacement right winger. Got silky feet, does the right winger. And he's got overlap here, and Gregory Reed gives it out to Mwabe. And Mwabe's got pace, does Mwabe. And he's running. And he gets tackled, does Mwabe. And it's another advantage from Brackenfell. And it's a free play here, and they kicked it out. And it's Mr. Bitsy who says, get on your feet to play the ball. Great work from Brackenfell. Breaking out Reed, giving it to Mwabe. And it was well done. And as we see a tap and go from Brackenfell. And it's called off. And it's another unforced error from Brackenfell. And unfortunately knocks it on with 1 minute remaining. But it's been an epic encounter between these two teams. There's still time, ladies and gentlemen. And Global Sports Network, where passion meets purpose. Incredible work what Global Sport Network is doing. Getting the millions involved. And that's what you want. And last scrum from the boys from Brackenfell. It's their last chance here for Brackenfell to level the scores here. And it's a scrum to Helderberg. And Hilderberg will feed the scrum here. And it's a early feed from Brackenfell. And it's a tap and go penalty. They have to tap. And it's a thumping kick. And it's a very good kick from the replacement fluff. Gaining about 70 odd meters.
20 seconds.
Did
20 seconds.
Helderberg.
Bal, Mark.
And it's a last play, ladies and gentlemen. Helderberg leading this clash 19-12. But don't go anywhere. You never know what happens in sport. And it's Brackenfell with the ball. They'll need to get this line out on the spot, and they do. And Helderberg, Mwabe picks it up. Mwabe has been so good for Brackenfell tonight. Has Mwabe. They'll need to keep their discipline to a minimum. Well, Helderberg. And it's Jafta again. Jafta breaking. Jafta with so much wheels. And it's a turnover from Helderberg. And that could potentially win them this game. Great work at the breakdown from Helderberg. And they will tap and kick out. And that is the end of the game, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in. And it's been an absolute spectacle. Helderberg leading this one at the end. And they have won it at full time. It's Helderberg 19, Brackenfell 12. Stay tuned for the post-match interview. you have the... Can we stand under that light?
On that side.
This is way too bright.
Yeah, we're on a roaming now, so it's fine. We weren't on a roaming
How was
with the
so you
first
said the
one.
halftime interview was fine?
Say again?
The halftime interview was fine. Okay, let me go down quickly. I'm just gonna call the two captains or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, let them, because we need some time, so let them...
Can I go to the bathroom quickly?
Yeah, go to the bottom. Ow. I'll be really, where the fuck is the power button on this one? Oh, there. The power button. Oh, honey, you never called. Do you see a connection? I'm not seeing a connection. Oh, hold on. Hold on, turn your camera off.
the captain of Helderberg, Borkie Carstens. Borkie, good game. If you can, just sum up that game.
Yeah, it was very tough. Always, when you play a Super A team in Western Province of Club Rugby, it's always a tough game. You know what you're going to get. Big forwards, structured rugby, quick wingers. Yes, you can't kick the ball. They're always coming back at you. And just a tough, good contest. Great game for a pre-season match for both teams. We had rolling subs, but yeah, it worked out pretty well for us. Just they're on the losing side, but it was a tough battle.
Yeah, I thought it was an excellent game of rugby, both sides. But how important is this going into the season, and how important is it to get that stepping stone towards the milestone?
Oh, this makes the season, because we had like 4 or 5 guys that's never played first team for us. They all got the opportunity here. We tried different combinations, and I'm sure with them as well, with rolling subs, you get to see different combinations before the season, and it's just good to get the fitness up. Not 80 minutes the first time out. Yeah, so it's good.
But yeah, thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of the season, and good luck to you guys for the rest of the season. Borkie Carstens. I'm here with Brackenfell's captain, Jafta. Had an amazing game today. I mean, everything that he everything he had, he gave it out, and all the points that were scored from Brackenfell was a result of Jafta. Jafta, if you can sum up that game for us.
Firstly, congrats to Hilderberg for the win. I think it was a game of 2 halves. First half we dominated. Second half, Hilderberg came back at us. I think their subs, they managed their play as well, and that kept them in the game. So big ups to them.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you guys really did well. It was just like critical points in the game where just an unforced error or something like that. But looking forward to the season ahead, what do you think is important in order to bounce back? I mean, there's probably a few more friendlies, but what do you think is key in order to get into the season?
I think we can just keep composure, stick to our structure, because there was moments in the game where we showed brilliant rugby, where we put up phases, played to our structure, and then we got on the edge. So that was good. So if we can keep that throughout the season, I think we'll be a force to be reckoned with in the Super League.
Yeah, and thank you so much. Enjoy this night and enjoy the rest of the season. I hope it goes well. And yeah, thank you so much. Jafta. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That is all from Charles Morkel Stadium in Strand. Is that Helderberg have won this fixture 19-12. Thank you so much.